Hello students! Today we are going to continue our lesson on the element of art, space. Let's focus on how space emphasizes our artwork as we create optical illusion art. Let's begin. For this project you will need cardstock, a drawing pencil, a black marker, colored pencils, an eraser, a ruler, and 3 different size circles you can trace. Here I found a can in my kitchen and a paper cup where I can trace the top and the bottom for different sizes. If you're comfortable using a drawing compass, you can do that as well to create 3 different size circles for this project. You will also notice I have a fine tip black marker, just in case I need to make smaller details in my artwork. Let's begin by drawing our 3 circles. Trace 3 circles anywhere on your paper. Make sure they are not touching and look as though they are floating. You will want to find the center of each circle because there will be a line going through each one right down the middle all the way across the page. Take one circle and draw a line down the middle and have that line go all the way across the page and in between the other adjacent circles like this. Then do the same thing to the next circle, crossing over your first line, creating an X. Go to the third circle, draw a line down the middle and through the center of the X. We are going to keep drawing lines and making smaller triangle sections all the way around your paper until you have 10 sections. If the line you are drawing comes across one of the 3 circles, continue drawing your line around the circle and not through it to make it look as though the line is behind the circle. It is okay if the center point where each triangle meets is not exactly in the middle of the page. It doesn't even have to be perfectly in the middle of the 3 circles. It just needs to be somewhere in the center of all 3 circles. This is what you should have so far. Now we are going to draw another line through each circle to create 4 equal pie sections in all 3 circles. Follow along with me on this next step. I go from one point to the other point, connecting the 2 with a curved line. Continue making curved lines connecting each end. Make sure the number of curved lines you create on one side will be the exact same number on the other sides of that circle. For example, in this first circle, I created 4 lines on each side of the straight lines that were drawn in this circle. I suggest rotating your work when drawing these curved lines so they can be even all the way around. Once you are finished turning your circles into spheres, it is then time to work on the triangle sections of your background. Begin drawing curved rainbows in every other section, as I am doing here. Notice how I try to keep them all at the same length and distance as the section I drew in before. Turn your work to make it easier to draw balanced, equally curved lines. If you run into a triangle section with a circle in the way, draw your curved line around the sphere. Once you are finished, you are now going to connect the rainbow lines with a U-shaped line in the remaining sections, as I am doing here. This will create wavy lined circles in the background of your 3 spheres. These wavy lines create more depth and space in your design. Now let's outline all the lines in black marker. I suggest using your ruler to keep those straight lines in your artwork. Just remember, the marker might leave ink on your ruler and leave smudge marks on your paper, so be very careful. Take your time. Erase any visible pencil marks to clean up your artwork. Once that's done, let's create a checkerboard pattern in each of the spheres. Fill in every other square solid black with your marker. Take your time with this step. You might accidentally fill in the wrong square. Just take it one area at a time, making sure you fill in every other section to achieve the right effect. we are going to color in the background behind the spheres. You need to use at least one color, but for me I used 5 sets of two different colors for the first 5 sections, and then I repeated the pattern for the final 5. Within each section, use varied pressure with your colored pencils. Begin on the outer edge of each section, pressing firmly to create a more opaque and solid tone. As you work your way towards the center, soften the pressure, working lighter with your pencil to have a lighter effect in the middle. This will give the illusion that light is reflecting at the center of each ripple. You will create more depth and the illusion of space by leaving the middle of each section almost blank. In fact, once I was done coloring the entire background, I took my eraser and erased down the middle of each section to create a bigger contrast from the outer edge of the section to the middle. Keep coloring with me all the way around. Once I finished coloring the background, I took the time to go over all the colors again to make sure the color patterns were bright and bold. Feel free to do this if you would like to make the colors stand out more. Then, take an eraser and create a thin line down the middle of each section. I did one final step with the spheres. This part is optional, but I think it adds more depth and illusion of space. Add a cast shadow on the edge of each sphere that is facing towards the center of your artwork. Use a regular pencil and smudge the shadow with your finger as you go to make the shadow more prominent. Once you have completed your artwork, sign your piece at the bottom and date it on the back. Please share your work with me via email if you can. I would love to see it. Until next time, take care and stay creative.